if it does get locked in. Nope,
it's
Aurelia.
going to be the Aurelia. And I talked about this earlier, where Jin Air could have picked this. They could have picked it against the Aatrox. Now on the flip side, Rakan, Xayah, the Aurelia, Elise, and Aatrox up there in the top lane. The Elise needs to cause a lot of chaos early on, and we could even maybe expect a lot of focus down in bottom, going for kill confirms with the Xayah Rakan.
Yeah, so game number 2 of Jin Air versus Hanwha Life here. Gonna hop straight onto the Rift and find out how it goes. Alrighty, here towards the end of week 3 of LCK Summer 2019. The weeks are already flying by, as is the way when you do a bunch of these. Bono going to start the W, of course. Face checking in here, and both these teams looking to get aggressive on the red side into the red, or the blue side red jungle.
He does end up finding Malrong. And nothing else too chaotic is going to be unfolding. Doran's ring start there for Grace in the mid lane on the Lulu with the teleport against the Aurelia. And the ignite on the Aurelia really signifies everything that Papa is thinking. Also note, press the attack as well, as they want to make sure that they have as much ammo as possible everywhere. Electrocute on Aatrox, Electrocute on Elise as well. Hail of Blades on Xayah, Hail of Blades on Rakan.
Yeah, double Hail of Blades. We saw this yesterday.
You a fan of mono red?
It's a lot of red. And I'm not a fan of mono red if you're talking about Magic. But
why?
It's very one-dimensional.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you think that you're more dimensions than
yeah.
mono red? Oh,
definitely,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, that's how I roll.
Okay. No big deal.
We don't have 5 domination tree.
That is true.
As Papa was asking yesterday, have we ever seen that before? I felt like we have. I don't know how you feel about it.
They like to dominate the game.
I think that's what they're going for, yes. They chose these runes for that purpose.
Okay. They chose 4 domination trees so that they could really press the attack.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, she's leading the charge in the middle.
Yeah,
she's pressing the attack.
Absolutely, she is.
Right?
She's doing it. And on the other side, they are rushing to. I can't even make the story for that one. that one's a little bit too
all right.
complicated.
Yeah. We'll leave that one out to pasture. As I think they just want to get really aggressive up against the Sona. We've seen many different solutions, I should say, for the Sona Tahm Kench lane. Some of it is to get really aggressive. Some of it is to poke them out. Some of it is just to get Klepto and sit back and farm yourself. We've also seen Victor in the bottom lane just to say, okay, I'm going to do the same thing. It's a knock-up coming in here, trying to bait in with Malrong, but very easily able to. Okay, no. Going to flash that Devour.
He missed the eat again. It was actually an interesting timing with Tahm Kench, where it appears as though you can eat out of yellow, depending on when you input the... Oh, man.
All right, we're going to get the knock-up here on a Kellen. That's who we're looking for, but Bono going from Malrong. The damage will come in, but the TP from Grace,
Why
as he
Grace
immediately backs away and is being pushed in the mid lane.
Okay, so the game is already off to an absolutely tragic start here for Jin Air. The plane did not manage to actually get off the runway, as Lulu is running her little Yordle self back to the mid lane, but missed so much of that minion wave. And also now being down the teleport, still does have the 2 red potions in the Doran's ring, but Aurelia was able to get herself a recall. Coming back into mid lane now, the wave is coming into her. So take a look at this again. This could have been so much better, actually, for Hanwha Life than it was. They didn't actually end up getting the flash out of Malrong, but they do get the teleport out of the Lulu, and so already down here in bottom, I mean, you add up the CS, it's 31-13 down in bot. And the wave is coming in to Zyrakan. They're getting Frozon.
Frozon. The new way to say frozen.
Yep, they're getting Frozon on.
Yeah.
And you can see Malrong doing Malrong things. He's trying to force the agenda down in bottom lane. It's really like the Saw series. You know the movies? There's like 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah, I saw like half the
they
first
just keep
one.
making them. So like you will watch.
I turned it off.
Yeah, I stopped after the 3rd one.
Wow, you got that far.
I did get that far.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, please forgive me.
You ever see a movie called Hereditary?
Yes, it was actually very nice. I watched it last year.
What do you mean it was nice?
It was okay. It had an interesting story for a thriller. It wasn't scary at all. Most movies aren't scary anymore. They say horror, but it's really hard to do horror when the whole thing of like the early, not the early 2000s, but like Paranormal Activity forward.
Yeah.
Was when people just started going creepier and creepier, and now it's just, everything's just a dark story. Insidious, Hereditary, Paranormal Activities, whatever, doesn't do anything anymore. You get really desensitized pretty quick.
Yeah, I guess so.
You don't agree?
I don't know. I
Did you
don't.
wet the bed?
Well, not quite.
Not quite, all right.
Maybe mentally.
All right, you were leaking. Pepe laughed.
Oh, God. No, there were a couple of moments that were pretty freaky. But, no wetting of the bed. Not this time around.
Well,
no.
Hanwha Life right now taking what is rightfully theirs, apparently, as they're going to get this red buff here. The Elise is level 6. Malrong looked like he was heading back down into bottom lane, but everything is going really bad except for on the top side of the map. But even that's not really going that good, as Bono is going to come back down here, and he might run into Malrong.
Just avoids the tip of that spear, though. Nicely done, not going to take any damage. So the pressure is on.
They don't quite manage to get a turret plate.
Not quite there. Lava still feeling pretty good about the mid lane.
And well, now Lava's actually threatening to come down, and with that amount of firepower, they can dive the turret. No questions asked. Lulu, remember, she doesn't have TP.
And now there's no Devour. It's
going
to be really hard for them to step forward, especially with Aurelia on vision. So.
And they're losing all of this XP. Malrong's even going to absorb it with them. Oh man, this is catastrophic.
Wow. Lava's still here.
You know The Day After Tomorrow, the movie?
Yeah, what about it?
Yeah, this was actually a deleted scene.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
Movie was all right.
It was. You know, for its time, it really was.
Yeah. Bad. As we're rotating over to the Mountain Drink with all that pressure, Hanwha say we'll take this free objective. And that Lulu mid isn't really doing it for me. Obviously, the teleport was a big reason why she wasn't able to help out if any dive was going to happen or anything like that. But just being pushed in on by the Aurelia. The Aurelia seems to have so much more priority. And she's not being poked out at all by that one.
And a lot of it comes down to that initial early teleport that just really dictated a lot of the tempo and pacing of the lane. And even though Grace salvaged it in the sense that he's only down 6 CS right now, everything is really not looking good for Janair here in this game number 2. Now, Clown Dragon will be coming up next, which is definitely a breather for them. They can sit back knowing that they don't have to consume that. And Hanwha Life will not be the happiest team in the world, even when they do get it, as Bono now is going to be up here, and Malrong is looking for a counter gank, match gank.
And Malrong can absolutely answer this. The Cocoon is going to go wide, but the burst damage onto Linderong, and Malrong took way too long to come out of that bush.
Yeah, that was really surprising, and now Thal is going to be the one that will be ahead now up in top lane, and Bono should be able to actually do his red side jungle and transition back top, but instead Malrong is actually going to stay top and absorb some of the passing XP. As meanwhile now down in bottom lane, the Sona and Tahm Kench not having the best of times.
Yeah, at least Root was able to finish his quest.
It's 59 to 99 right now. Now 101. Okay, 102.
Yeah, got the wave pushing in though, you know. Looking for that other plate as they get a huge amount of damage down. The Demolish proc happens too. And it kind of reminds me of Game 2 of Griffin versus SKT earlier, where it was like Sivir and I forget the support, maybe Lux, but they were just pushing in. And the Sona Tahm Kench got so far behind because they got dove very early on that they really couldn't do much. They just got too far behind and then lost that one. As now Grace is going to flash away. Has the stopwatch as well, trying to survive here, but going to be flashed on by Lava. Linderong trying to turn this one around. Has his own stopwatch though. The second one for the side of Jinair, but it will still go 2-1 in favor of Hanwha Life.
And that's a really big victory for Hanwha Life for a couple of reasons. The Elise, yes, she ends up going down, but she's pathing straight down into bottom anyway, which is the first side of the jungle is going to be up. Whereas Xin Zhao, he's left remaining, but also look on the left-hand side, the stopwatches that were blown on the side of Jinair is really, really awful. Because you're having to utilize them so early on in the game over essentially nothing because they don't convert into some magical objective. And so now Hanwha Life, they almost find themselves with a 3,000 gold lead at 12 minutes here. This is going to be a plate going down up in top lane. Look at the level disparity across so many of the champions right now. You have one level in the jungle, one level in the top lane, one level in ADC.
Yeah.
And for all of this to be occurring so early on, Jace has to be really careful. It's definitely spelling disaster right now for Jinair.
Yeah. It's definitely unfortunate. I know Jinair has a lot of fans, but they've kind of become the testing block in the LCK, the punching bag. It's like, we can rate your performance based on how well you do against Jinair and really figure out just how well you can win. Is kind of the way it goes here when you are going up against Jinair, which, again, it's not really what we want to see, but it is what it is. And now Hanwha Life, they took the first Mountain Drake. They got a ton of plates already, and they're looking for more here with a Shelly at 13 minutes.
And now with the Dragon, or the Herald, I'm sorry, they should realistically be able to convert it into turret plates. It looks like they're taking it top lane. Bono probably going to summon it right away. Jace can't cancel it.
Unless he hops over the wall and then knocks her back.
Hops over,
and then
makes the game reactivate his flash.
Yeah.
It's going to be 3 more plates and First Blood turret gold going over to Aatrox.
He's got big pockets in this game.
Yep.
Sometimes the Aatroxes aren't really showing up, but this time around, oh boy.
1,500 gold advantage over his opponent. As the gold lead now extends globally to 2.4, 2.5k. And Cloud Dragon going to be next on the agenda.
This is all looking really good here for Hanwha Life. If I'm them, I mean, they have total control of this game. Probably just get the Cloud Drakes in hopes that you can roll a better one, because you're almost definitely going to pick up that one as well. Still looking for this turret plate CG that we get to come up after every time. Okay, there it is. 5 in the top side, 1 in mid, 3 in bot, whereas Jinair only able to get 3 in total. And another turret did fall almost immediately after as Hanwha able to push into the bottom lane.
And
trying to punish Lava here. He's going to get polymorphed and burst down. Nicely done. They're able to come together for that one as Bono was a little bit busy with the Cloud Drake.
He gets himself the Cloud Drake, but yeah, Lava bit off a little bit more than he could chew at that point in time. And fortunately for Jin Air, the next dragon coming up as well is another Cloud Drake, so definitely some breathing room. You can see that Lava, he really wanted to trade right here, doesn't expect that Malrong is in the close vicinity.
It's well baited. You
Yeah.
know. Grace just steps up with half health. He's like, here, take me. And, well, Malrong was right there.
Now Elise is going to transition to her red. And the unfortunate thing for Hanwha is rolling these kind of dragons does mean that you will have to wait until Baron. It's not like you got Mountain, Infernal, and you can just start turret diving with all the ramped up damage. But with that Mountain Drake and having the Elise and the champions that they do, it should be pretty easy to capture a Baron early on.
For the meanwhile, just rotating the lanes over. Songyun and Key going to make their way into the mid lane. And just begin to push this one in. You can see, even with the Sona healing, not even really able to deal with the poke from the Xayah. So they're able to push really fast. Sona Roots here is just going to have to farm under turret. But as you mentioned, you know, it is going to be a while before this Baron comes up, about 4 minutes. So it's kind of the downside of taking so many objectives so early.
And Hanwha Life now posturing around the mid side of the map.
Okay, Sendo comes in, and Root goes out, so does Tom. And we're all friends again.
And that is a lot of mid-turret damage. Jace finally comes in with a stock blast, helps clears out the minion wave, but the damage for the most part was done. And pinging of the minion waves, interesting. Wonder what they're actually communicating when pinging all of them simultaneously. Aurelia now on a split push mission up in top as Jin Air is currently doing the Nay round.
Yeah, it did look like for a while that all 5 of them were grouping up saying, hey, let's push the mid lane. But that's not going to happen. Hanwha just have so many threats in their lineup. The Aurelia and the Aatrox being pretty fed. And of course, their AD carry with the most farm in the game.
Another red buff stolen away as well by Bono. And now Lava clearing out control wards. And this is really interesting, actually. Jin Air is investing more into defensive wards than Hanwha Life is in offensive wards. And so that definitely has to be one of the things that is actually clawing away at Jin Air's economy ever so slightly.
He having to grand exit away in that case, as it's a little bit too close to the enemy team, and Songyun wasn't there for him to dash to. Xayah was a little bit mad at her boyfriend. That top tier 2 is taking a surprising amount of damage. We see the pings going down already, as I would assume that's been done by Lava here.
And they're probably just waiting on Aurelia to complete her Trinity Force as well as Elise to get her second core item before they would end up fighting. Trinity Force is now complete though for Aurelia. A minute, or just over a minute until the Cloud Dragon will end up spawning. Interesting to me, actually, so many members are sitting on tier 1 boots on the side of Hanwha Life, and I do wonder if it has to do something with the fact that they're considering that they're going to get both Cloud Dragons, and so they can allocate the money elsewhere, and so because of that, the Cloud Dragon is sort of a pseudo-Infernal Dragon.
Yeah, you know, we have seen this before. I feel like this is one way that the Korean teams, at least, have been able to make that Cloud Drake get some more value overall, especially if you're going to pick up 2, as you mentioned. Not to mention that potential third Cloud Drake. What's his name again?
Crown Drake.
Crown Drake? Okay.
Yeah.
There you
Crown
go.
Drake.
Yeah.
Clown, Cloud, and Crown.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, I think I got it.
Open, open, open. That's the.
So know their name?
Yeah.
What about Ocean Man for number 3?
Absolutely not.
That's a good one.
That would imply
I'd go
that
for
you
that.
are you're worth something, right? Because an ocean is a large body of water, right?
Yeah.
All right, so large doesn't really work with 3 oceans. You know, 3 ocean dragons.
3 oceans is very large if you add them together.
Nope. Definitely not. Go into Sandbox, check it out yourself.
I see.
I genuinely feel like Ocean Dragon is bad design. It's really powerful and oppressive early on in the laning phase because you shove the wave, you fight with your opponent, and then you go out of combat before the next wave gets hit. Okay, great. Those small increments of mana and HP that early on is beneficial. Regioning 300, 400 HP after a team fight at 25, 26 minutes often doesn't matter in the mass majority of cases.
Yeah.
However, having an extra 400 damage inside of that team fight is really different due to thresholds and passives that might need to get procced or yada yada yada. So,
yeah,
I don't know. Even 3 Ocean Dragon, I'll give Cloud Dragon credit. Once you get to 2, it does feel very nice, and 3 is obviously beneficial, but I can almost never get behind Ocean Dragon.
What if it like scaled up during the game? Like the game just a little bit more.
Oh yeah, I think it needs buff.
Like every 10 minutes or so. You know, nothing over the top.
No, it needs to be over the top, okay?
You think so?
You can nerf it earlier if you want to, but make it more over the top later. I would think. I just...
Yeah.
I mean, I remember the notion that Ocean Drake's really, really good, and then it's like, go into replays, see what it actually does. Go into Sandbox, see what it does. Go through every game where a team has an Ocean, and look at it in isolation and ask, okay, did Ocean come into play here? Did Ocean happen here? Did Ocean impact something? Most cases, the answer is no. Can't say the same, though, for Infernal Mountain and Drakes like that.
Well, we do have a Baron start here. It is going to be spotted. Again, this is at 22 minutes. They do have the Mountain, which, again, we talked about tailoring your play towards certain Mountain, or rather, certain Drakes that you do pick up. And it seems like Hanwha Life has been pretty good about that so far. So now they're looking for the pick here. He is going to go way wide. And Lava not really able to connect afterwards with any damage. It's hard to really force yourself into that small corridor and find much at all, as the Devourer is going to be there for the Sona. And now we're going in on Tabano, who has to get over the wall here. Nearly going to go down to the Shock Blast on the backside, and Jin Air, perhaps his plane is beginning to take off.
Jin Air's actually bouncing back. And that didn't really cost them anything. It cost them Malrong's Flash, which is a pretty fine thing to do right now. They're going to get a lot of map control back. They get quite a bit of gold back under themselves. And now, Hanwha Life, they're going to go back to farming. And the real scary thing right here is Songyu's only 12 in this clip. He gets 13 after this. He gets 3 levels over the enemy bot lane. He whiffs completely. That was a pretty good Leroy Jenkins expression. Yeah, nice. Hanwha's not done yet. They're going in here again as Key is clearing out the vision that he can. Oh, and they don't know. They're moving away from the Baron. I don't even get it. They saw Songyun.
Yeah, not sure about that one.
They actually saw Songyun on a ward. They saw him moving over there. What do you think he's going over there to? Rakan just cleared out the ward. I guess he's just going to watch him. He's going to go watch Rakan.
He's got to protect Rakan when he's clearing out the vision, you know? I mean, you know, regardless of if they know 100% or not, you need to have ways to get in there and check, right? Someone's got to face check.
Well, it was that they're all just moving away from it completely. As if there's no inclination that this might be a possible play. And it's so bizarre when they have the wards necessary that could give them said inclination.
Yeah, maybe we'll be able to get a replay. Not 100% sure because nobody went down on the play. But that's going to be a big moment for Hanwha. They move in with the Baron buff and look to take out some of these turrets.
And now this converts into Infernal. Baron, 2.5 minutes remaining, 50 seconds until the Infernal Dragon. And just look at Xayah's attack damage right now, 247. So if she gets an Infernal Dragon, she's basically getting a pickaxe.
Yeah, it's pretty intense for sure. And it looks like they're just going to wait a little bit for that one. Not really pushing the envelope. They're just slowly pushing in top, mid, and bot, though. So Bono hanging around bot, seeing if anyone would come in to challenge Lava. The answer is no, so Elise and really a pretty high attack speed on that one, able to bring that one down relatively quickly. They can push in here, take out the tier 2 turrets, and then move on to that Infernal.
Gold League continues to extend here. It's almost 10,000, currently at 8 for Hanwha Life.
Yeah, wow. Kind of out of nowhere, we got 4,000 on the Baron power play.
Yeah.
So this Jin Air airplane, once again, coming down for a landing.
As the descent?
Yeah, it's the descent now.
They lose all their jungle camps as well. You
Yeah.
can see that Lava, he is waiting on a minion wave. They're not quite pulsating all of these at the same exact time, and that's allowing Jin Air to actually juggle them relatively well.
Yeah, we've seen some teams in the LCK have trouble with this. They're just waiting.
Yeah, you can
see that
see
Lava
now.
now.
Yeah, now they're doing it.
Nice, nice.
That's actually very nice play. Yeah, they pulsated that one quite well.
As we're going in again, as a nice blast from Root, you can tell that his mechanics are still on point. And meanwhile, in the top lane, Linderong lost his whole health bar. So Tal is going to be able to take out that turret just by himself. Jin Air,
cannon.
yeah, just trying to focus on the mid lane, but they're getting taken down anyway, as every lane is being pushed right now. Grace can do not much at all up against Lava on the bottom side. Top inhibitor goes down. Songyun and the boys here in the mid lane going to take down the mid inhibitor. And now we can easily rotate down to the bottom side as Hanwha very cleanly. It was a struggling team fight into a sneak Baron play. Sneak with quotations.
And so now what they're going to end up doing is they're going to back up. They're going to get the Infernal Dragon, come off the recall with elixirs, and Jin Air, they're going to have a very bad time. Oh, they might get Tal.
Yeah, they're going to get Tal here. As well, he does have his flash, but he's trying to take a Root, and he almost does.
They got Grace's flash.
Grace had to
ultimate.
flash over to save his life.
That's really, really unfortunate because Thal has teleport. So as soon as he's up again, he's going to have teleport available. And now Grace doesn't have flash for a team fight inside of the base. Elise is going to go over, get the right-hand side Scuttle Crab, and also pick up the Infernal Dragon. And all the champions right now on the side of Hanwha Life are just so strong.
Yeah.
Teleport on Aatrox is going to be available for him to use as soon as he respawns in 20 seconds, and that should be the Doom push because the level advantage is just overwhelming across the board, as well as the sheer power inside of the gold and the amount of value that the Infernal Drake is actually giving all the champions right now. Several thousand gold worth.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we were targeting Rakan when that Infernal was taken, so not really the most relevant champion to target. I was hoping we'd take a look at the Xayah, but it looks like the final push is coming in. Cocoon gonna force that one out, and finally Key is gonna land this one. The big wombo combo, he still goes down, but everybody else on the side of Hanwha Life is gonna make quick work of the side of Jin Air. Even Tal forced a flash on there, or rather Zhonya's just to survive. As the push comes in, Hanwha gonna take the very clean and easy 2-0 up against Jin Air tonight.
And so Jin Air, they come out tonight. Game number 1 looked a little bit better than game number 2, where they did just seem to fall apart. Malrong, though, remains consistent. Get ready for relegation.
Yeah, let's go round 2. Do it again.
This is all just a long time, though.
I just remember that the game that, I think it was you and I, or I think it was you. I mean, we casted the Jin Air win when they first won in spring season. And that was really hype when they actually won the game, right? So hopefully we can get one of those in the future.
Well, have you collected the Dragon Balls?
Yes.
Don't count on it. Alright. Shenron has limits. Tell this, okay?
I see. Nice moves there from Root. Moves out of the way. Yeah, I mean, Root, there are times where he shows his mechanics, but just the team as a whole can't really seem to find any success here in the LCK.
Well, Janair, I mean, they show moments of life as well. And clearly there was some proactivity that was going on in game number 1 with the aggressive Baron call. They're trying to make things happen, but it really just doesn't seem like anyone in particular knows really what's going on, other than Ruben telling when they're left to their own device.
Yeah.
Janair and bottom laners. Name a more iconic duo, I believe is the same.
Yeah.
As Root really is the pillar of the team, and when him and Kelly can manage to get things going, is when there's going to be a fighting chance.
Yeah, so the boys here having a bit of fun after that win. We're going to cut them short there as, yeah, actually a lot more damage to the side of Janair, but a lot of it was poke damage, and of course the Xayah doing pretty well for the side of Hanwha Life. Not much else to say. Another very one-sided game there after the early game went heavily in Hanwha's direction after they took that Baron. And that means that they do avoid tying with SKT now, and they will actually move ahead. So SKT unfortunately going down to 9th place, whereas Hanwha will move up to 8th.
Yep. And Hanwha, they're going to still have their work cut out for them. The middle of the pack of the LCK this season has all improved.
Yeah.
And so Hanwha Life are looking doomed for the 6th place curse.
Yeah, kind of does feel that way. As, okay, gonna take a look here at Songyun. He's got the best pose, at least, is gonna pick up the MVP. Take a look at some of the plays that he did make happen.
Managed to finish off the Tom Kent right there.
And we're gonna skip all the way to the end.
Okay.
The fadeaway feathers, nice, I like that. It was kind of hard to vote for an MVP in this one. I voted for Mono. I feel like he was able to set things up.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Yeah, it's, you know, there wasn't really much that happened outside of, you know, being around the Baron, and then they took it, and then it was just like, well.
Well, the early game really impacted the game.
Sure.
So
yeah.
I feel like the early skirmishes and the aggressions and everything that Bono was able to get going was really important. So.
But Songyun ends up getting it there in the end, so good on him. Picks up his first MVP of the LCK Summer 2019. So I'm going to hand it over to Ji-sun. She's going to help us with the translation.
Interview translation, and we're going to be joined by Lava, Songyun from Hanwha Esports. Finally, you guys stopped the losing streak. Congratulations once again. Fans have been supporting you throughout the good and the bad. How do you feel right now, Songyun?
어떻게 보면 오늘 나락전이었는데
I'll say it was like going.
보낸 것 같아서
Well,
기분은
it was a must-win game for each both teams, so it feels good. But at the same time, I feel a little bit sorry. Well, taking down your former teammates is actually feels really nice, but I'm gonna help them from now on. Lava, you are showing very consistent performance throughout the split. So how do you rate your performance today?
오늘 첫 경기, 두 번째 경기 둘 다 한 번
Well,
정도
in
실수한
both
것
games,
빼고는
I think I
전체적으로
made
많이
one
좋았던
mistake
경기인
in
것
each set. So overall, I'm quite satisfied. In game number 1, you did a lot of damage. 28k damage on Azir. So how was the laning phase in the beginning?
라인전은 상대가 텔포 들고 이렇게 큰
Well, the
압박
opponent has
없이 하셔서
teleport as a
편하게
summer
했던
spell,
것
so I didn't feel any pressure. So I was feeling free to push lane.
아지르의 엄청난 딜량이 보여졌던 장면들이 있었는데
So we
그중에
have some of the
가장
highlights
인상적이었던 장면이
with impressive damage of Azir.
승리를 가져왔던 바로납 장면이에요.
So let's go
그때
through
지네어가
Baron
먼저
teamfights over
바로
here.
있었던 상황이고
Junior was actually was the one trying Baron first, so who made the calls and what was going on?
천천히 바로 막으면서 저 한 명
So it was
기다리는
4v5, so I just let's just slowly open fight because I was on the way, I was walking there, and we were actually able to remain calm, so we were able to make great team fight over there.
하면서 타이밍을 보는 장면이 있더라고요.
And I heard a call that telling your teammates not to kill Marlon over there.
많이 다독여 주시잖아요.
Are you the main shot caller of today's game?
잘 이끌어 주신 것 같은데
상현?
어떠셨나요? 팀원들과의 호흡 오늘?
How was your teammate overall?
다독여 주는 게 그냥 상황이 또
I
젊은
mean,
피가 또
me,
흐르기 때문에 이
like
친구가
leading the team,
많이
because
이렇게
all the other
하더라고요.
players,
그래서
there's
그런
a
거고,
young,
오늘은
they're
딱히 막 이렇게
like
재롱하고
always
그런 건 딱히
so
없었어요.
excited, but
네.
not today. They were a
이전에
bit calm
공개됐던
compared to other
분위기랑
days.
굉장히 침착했던 하나생명의 모습이 많이 보여졌습니다. 자 그리고 2세트에서는
So moving on to game number 2, Jinair tried Sona, Tompkins, and also Lulu in mid lane. And double Halo Blades, Zaya Rakan showed up on the Hana side.
시너지가 좋잖아요. 근데 거기
Well, Zaya
끝까지
Rakan,
같이
they have
잡아주면은
huge synergy, and
라인전
if
좀더
both
세게
of them
할
go
수
with Halo Blades, we can have a huge priority during the laning phase.
빨리 나오고 이러면서 약간
And you were able to pick up items in the very early mark of the game, so how did you play games today overall?
적 팀이 소나랑 룰루가 있어도
Well,
캐리할 사람이 없었어요.
Even
챔피언이.
though they had Sona and
캐리할 수
Lulu,
있는
there
챔피언이
were no
없어가지고
champion to carry the
어차피
game, to
저희가
be
진짜
honest.
크게 실수를 하지
So
않는 이상
if-
지지 않아가지고
Well, unless we
좀
make a
게임이
huge
되게 루즈하고
mistake,
천천히
well, the game was a
해가지고
bit
좀
loose
많이
and it was a
아쉽기는
bit
했어요,
slow in
솔직히.
tempo, so I feel bad about it, but I wasn't really concerned.
해냈습니다. 자, 2세트에서도 어디서 승기를 붙였나 생각을
So game
해보면
number
역시
2,
바론
speaking of
장면이었는데요.
momentum, it was
이때
again
라칸이
the
좀 끊기고
team
나서
fight near the Baron
승리가 방심한
pit.
틈을 노렸는데 이때 판단은 누가 했는지
So whose
어떤
call was it?
판단이었는지 좀 들어보고 싶어요.
이때 아마 보노 선수가
I think it was
보노 선수 아니면 라바
Bono
선수가
or Lava.
한 번 더 저 보노 선수가
I
저한테
think Bono.
솔바군탄 타고 넘어가자고 했어요.
Let's just
근데 저는
jump
이거
over
미리
the
안
wall
보여주면
with the
실수도
blast cone,
있다고
but
서 선수
I
싸우고
was a little bit
저는
concerned that
그냥
they might
집단을
find it
정했어요.
out, but we were actually able to pick up the Baron over there.
완벽한 설계였네요.
전략
Perfect
노출이네요.
setup, right? I think it was a bit of a leak of our strategy.
도출해주셔서
I'm a little bit
감사합니다.
concerned.
야, 이렇게 하나생명 선수들의 연기까지 빛났던 장면이었습니다. 자, 오늘
So
2대
today,
0으로 깔끔하게
2-0
승리
victory, a clean
가져가셨는데요.
score.
상윤 선수
상윤,
마지막으로
as
생각이 좀
as the
많을
oldest
것
member of your
같아요.
team.
또 팬분들께도 하고 싶은
So
말
would you
있을
like
것
to
같아서
say anything to your fans?
많이 지고 있어서
We
이제
were losing a lot
끝까지
recently.
마음에
However, I want to say thank you to all the
더
fans who
소풍도
have
한번
been
가보도록
supporting
하겠습니다. 기대 다
throughout the
감사합니다.
split currently, and I'm gonna do my best to kind of climb up the ladder in LCK.
네, 팬분들이 뜨거운 박수 보내주고 계시고요. 자, 이제 다음 경기 준비하셔야겠죠.
And your next
다음
opponent
경기가
will
하나생명이
be-
다음 주 금요일이에요. 거의 일주일을
Well, your
준비하게
next
되는데
match is
나가
actually
선수
on the next Friday. You have a 1 week to prepare. So how are you gonna spend your day off?
최대한 열심히 준비해서
So we have a long days to prepare. So we're gonna practice as hard as I can and make sure to
연습을
win
꼭 이어갈 수
another
있길
game next week.
바라겠습니다. 여러분도 같이 뜨거운 박수 보내주시기 바랍니다. 네, 오늘 인터뷰
Thank you very
감사드리고요.
much for this
조심히
interview today.
들어가시기 바랍니다.
And
고생하셨습니다.
have a
감사합니다.
safe way back home.
나가 선수
Thank you very much
함께했습니다.
once again. And this will be the end of the interview with Lava Sangye from Hana. Thank you.
Thank you, Ji-sun, for that wonderful translation. As good to hear from Sang-yoon as always. Very well-spoken guy. That he's one of those guys where I guarantee he'll retire from esports, or not esports, League of Legends, go to the army, come back, and be a commentator. Guaranteed. That happens all the time in the Korean scene, especially in StarCraft. Sang-yoon, he's on that path.
By Tactics Pro after the army. Eldis, come on.
Yeah, it's a much slower game, so maybe you can you can hop onto that one after you get a little bit older. Yeah, Hanwha able to move up one step here. They cut their losing streak short, rather, and they hop one step ahead of SKT, who is definitely.
I just realized it. Look
Yeah.
at the T. It looks like it's writing 911. You get it?
Oh yeah, kind of, yeah. Kind of see what you're going for there. Well done. Well, Alice, you're going to be back tomorrow with Atlas.
You know what? I need Atlas. You need to.
Well, you're not going to have to wait that long.
All right.
After how many hours until the next time? After like 14 hours of Teamfight Tactics, you'll be back here with Atlas for the next couple of games that you stole my schedule. Afrika Gen G and Sandbox KT. So I'll be watching from home. Should be a fun matchup indeed. So anything else you want to say, LS, before we close out the broadcast?
No.
No, you good?
I'm
You
pretty
okay?
good. I'm pretty good. I got it covered.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining me on the wonderful cast. As I hope you guys also enjoyed it. It was Bit of another stomperino by Hanwha over Janair, but we'll see you next time here on the LCK Summer Broadcast. We love you. Good night.